Hey guys, it's JoAnn and I have a project to share with you for some Odd Girl stamps. And I'm using the new digital stamps set. Actually, it's not a set, it's actually one image of Girlfriends Kaylee and Mae. And I decided to do a easel card for you guys today. So here is my cut piece that's already pre-cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring it at I believe 5 1/2 and 8 1/4. And I'm just pressing out my score lines. So I got that already, and then I already colored my image because to save some time. And I didn't want to waste any time, so I did that a while ago. And I'm using the authentic paper, and I can't remember the name of the paper pad right now. But I really like this paper pad, and I used it on my project from last week. And I'm just in love with the colors because it's like a almost like patriotic, but not really. So I just chose some cute little pieces from that paper pad. This one has cupcakes. I don't think you can see it very well, but the cupcakes are super cute. And what girlfriends don't like cupcakes? So I thought I'd use that as my inside piece to decorate the inside. And then I chose a lighter piece so that if you chose to write a sentiment, you could still read it. So let me see. Here I'm just scoring it down. I cut that cupcake piece to 4 by 5 1/4, and then this inside piece is 3 3/4 by 5. So now for my sentiment, I used a clear set that I had in my stash called Puppy Love, and so I used the Best Friends Always, and I just stamped it out on a piece of cardstock, and I trimmed off the edge with a punch that I had, and I'm just adhering down the background pieces for the inside of my card. So I just like to take my time because sometimes when I rush, I tend to adhere things down pretty crooked. So I like to just make sure everything is straight. And then I was deciding on whether or not to lay down that sentiment piece, and I wasn't sure how to do it just yet, but I decided to do it at the end. And I'm just kind of fiddling around with the front piece, and I wanted to use more coordinating paper from that paper pad. So I used this floral piece and trimmed it down to, I wanted to keep some of that white edge, so I trimmed it down to 4 1/4 by 5, no, 4 by 4 1/4. No, 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to decorate this um, outside piece now. Now I wanted to play with some dies that I had in my stash. These are from Simon Says Stamp, and I cannot remember what they are called at this moment, but I just show you quickly what that was. And I trimmed off, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to offset these two girls or whether or not I wanted to just make them center. So I decided, I think, to keep them center, and I just put down some scotch tape so that they wouldn't roll around in my cuddle bug. And I'm just going to put them through the cuddle bug just to um, save some time instead of using my trimmer. And then I forgot that this die set came with, or actually cuts out like a really thin piece on the edge. So I was like, oh, maybe I will just use a colored cardstock piece and do the same thing and just use the outer edge of that to be a sort of a frame for my image. So I ran it through again. And I keep my cuddle bug like next to me on a shelf, like near my knee. So it's kind of cumbersome to just take it out and keep um, trimming off pieces. So if I have an idea to use it somehow, then I will try to use it. And pardon my messy desk. I like creative chaos sometimes. So I'm just laying out my pieces and seeing how I would like to have them look. And I decided to put like a little bit of a like ground the two characters. So I used my this is W1, and I'm just kind of shadowing around their feet so that they don't look like they're floating in the air. And then I thought it was too light and it just needed a little bit more contrast. So then I was looking for my W3, and then I shadowed like closer to their bodies so that it gave it a little bit more dimension. And then I just blended it out with more W1 for my Copics. And then I was pretty happy with that. So I decided to, I think, finally adhere stuff down in just a second. And that thin outside piece was pretty, I kind of fought with it a little bit just because it's so super thin, and I don't have the smallest of fingers. So I laid down my image first and figured out where I wanted them to go. And then I took the thin little piece and got my tweezers, and then you could see the shadow. I gotta figure out my lighting. But I took some Tombow Mono Multi and just placed a few dots around the edges. And then I tried to place it as best as I could with my shaky hands. I mean, I was thinking maybe I should have put the glue around the other piece already, so then all I would have to do is just lay out this thin piece, but I couldn't figure out what the best way would have been, so this was the way that I chose. And as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit more glue. And then I thought that it needed a little bit more something, so I picked up my trio heart punch from Stampin' Up. It's really old. It was when I used to be a demonstrator. And then I decided, oh, I should probably ink the edges just to rough them up a little bit. So I got some of my Black Soot Distress ink, and then I just inked around the edges. And then I just use more glue just to place it all over the place. Well, I just made a little cluster of hearts in that bottom corner. And I didn't think that the front of this card needed a sentiment just because the inside was, I thought it was pretty sweet, just to keep it simple on the outside and just keep the um, sentiment on the inside. And I don't know why I look like I'm going in slow motion. Why am I going in slow motion? Sorry, I think my computer is dying right now. Let me just double check where we're at. So then I like the way they look, and I was just trying to decide how to adhere them, like to keep the easel open. And so I've thought of using buttons. I thought about using other things. Oh, here I am distressing the edges of that piece. Um, but I thought I'd keep it simple and just kind of pop up that sentiment piece. So I got some uh, foam, fun foam that I had in my stash, and it's a good alternative to using like foam dots or anything like that. You could trim this off to the size that you'd like, and then one side is sticky, and then just the other side I just use my ATG tape, and then I just kind of figured out where I wanted to place this. So here I go placing it, and I thought that looked a little thin, so I found some little hearts that I had in my stash that were on top of my table, and it's taken me a while, and I'm trying to pick this heart up off my table, but I cut my nails recently, so I was trying to pick it up. So I gave up, and then I found another piece. So here I am putting it down with some Tombow Mono Multi, and I thought it looked pretty cute just keeping those hearts right there. And then I'm almost done with my card, and I think I decided it needed a little bit more something something. So I just grabbed my clear Wink of Stella and then added some clear Wink of Stella to the hearts on the outside and the hearts on the inside. And then I think I should be done with the card. And then I have some still shots after this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this card. Let me know in the comments down below. Keep checking the someoddgirlblog.com for more fun projects and some upcoming releases. It's so super fun. Guys don't want to miss it. And be sure to join us on Facebook and look for the Some Odd Girl community. And I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.